Hi, I'm Chris Stead, an entertainment editor at finer.com.au, and what could be more entertaining than a barbecue with your mates? Now I've got a hell of a barbecue to review for you guys today. It's the Timberline 850 smoker, and I've just rolled this thing out into my garage and now I'm going to build it. So this is it, fresh out of the packaging. It's a fair bit of bits and pieces here to assemble. And I'll tell you about how the installation process goes once I'm done. But I'll tell you though, oh, this thing is heavy. Even just getting it off the pallet by myself is an absolute mission. But that tells me this thing's going to be great. Okay, so I've been working on it for about half an hour now, and so far so good. Quite impressed by the instructions. All the tools that you need to put together are there. And look, I haven't been racing. I've been listening to some Teskey Brothers, smashing a few beers, so not really trying to accelerate really fast. Actually having a bit of fun putting this together. But look, a couple of things to show you straight up. First off, when you're buying something of this kind of value and quality, you're expecting some pretty quality gear inside, and I've got to say, these things are freaking thick, real good quality, just feel beastie. You know, it says in the packet you need 2 people to lift this thing on its side. Once you empty everything out, it's nowhere near as heavy as I originally thought. It's quite handy because I thought I was going to have to get old mate from next door to come over and lift it with me, and his back's even worse than mine. Just got the old plunge saw here holding up on one side, and just my bag of hickory. It's going to be used to smoke, but yeah, it's going to get the legs on, and yeah, from here I think it's going to be pretty straightforward. Heap of waste in this thing. Tell you what, if you're environmentally friendly, you're probably not going to like unpacking this thing, not a cardboard or plastic. Then again, if you're environmentally friendly, you probably don't want to smoke a whole cow. Okay, so it's been a few weeks now since I installed it, and I'm still reviewing here the Traeger Timberline 850 smoker. And look, I'm really impressed. I've cooked a few meals on it now, and I'm really loving this machine. Now, this is a premium machine. It does come at a premium price, but as soon as you get it installed, as soon as you start using it, you realise just how premium built it is. Everything in this thing is really fantastic. You know, everything's solid. The shelving is really solid. You can almost pick up the thing with the shelving. You know, I've got an example here. This is the chopping board that comes to the side of it. It's just engineered perfectly. It fits so snugly in this thing, it doesn't even tip out. You know, it's just, everything's engineered really well. The grills, as I mentioned before, just super solid. Come out really easy to clean. You know, from that perspective, really impressed so far with the machine. If you have a look down on the screen here, okay, which is one of the big parts of this thing. It's all Wi-Fi connected. I've got the probe in here at the moment. This thing has been running for about 3.5 hours now, cooking me some Christmas lunch. Super smoke mode. Okay, this thing's really cool. So you tap this, you set it to a bit of a lower temperature range, and it takes a bit longer to cook, but it just pulses the smoke right through the food and gives it a really good extra flavour. Now this is what we're thinking about, a 12 or 14 pound turkey now. It's been sitting there about 3 hours. The probe comes through this little side entry here, so it doesn't hurt the seal at all, which is good. There's some vegetables in there as well. They're a bit dry actually. I might just start getting those out. You can hear the fan once you open it up, really starting to go. But usually there's a second shelf, which I showed you before, which sits in here. You reckon they can hold 9 chickens? I reckon they can probably hold more than 9 chickens, to be honest. Now you can activate, you can look at this, all the settings on this from your phone. The companion app works great, tells you exactly how hot it is inside and how hot it is on the probe. And you can also see your pellet count, see how that's going as well, and access things like super smoke mode, just activate from wherever you are. It's really handy on the very long cooks. Now, the rest of the build is just really nice. Like, this has been on for like about 3 hours. I can still grab it. It's warm, but it's not burning me. Big, thick rubber seal all the way around here. Nothing's escaping. Now, you may have noticed here that there's no smoke billowing out. I've used other smokers beforehand that had the chimney stacks, things like that. Lots of smoke coming out. And you know what, I do like that aesthetic. It looks really nice to see. It creates a big plume of smoke that goes around. It creates a nice smell and aroma when you're in the area. Now I can still smell this, but it's not as strong as those smokestack things. Instead, on the back here, which you can't see, is a downdraft vent. And the way it's designed is that the old smoke, which is a bit heavier, pulls out that downdraft and escapes. And new smoke is what circulates and convects around the food. So the design's actually a lot better, if not aesthetically as cool. And as you can see, there's no actual smoke escaping. And the fact that there's no smoke escaping from here, and the fact that there's not such a strong smell, tells me that everything that's been trapped in there is really getting into the food, which is really good. Another thing I've really liked about the way that the Traeger Timberline 850 works is just the temperature and the evenness of it. Now you won't believe it, but it actually had a downpour here about an hour or so ago while this thing was smoking. I mean torrential rain. Believe it or not, it does rain in Australia sometimes. And this thing's temperature did not budge. Well, it set on 150 degrees Celsius and it just basically sat there. Fluctuates between 148 and 152 every now and again. It did not budge, even under a deluge of rain. Rain also didn't affect any electronics too, which I was pretty happy about. Now if I take a look into the cavity here of the Timberline 850, heaps of space. As soon as I open this, I want you to see this. This temperature, the temperature inside and the way that it gauges it is just super accurate. As soon as I open this, you're going to start seeing the temperature begin to drop. Off she goes. As the temperature goes out, so too does the temperature drop. Look at that, super accurate. Okay, you put it back down, she'll slow down, and then she comes up to speed again in about a minute. So really impressed with the way this thing controls the heat. And just like that, you can see how much quieter it is as soon as you close the lid as well. It cuts along the sound. And the fan is a bit loud, but you don't notice it when you're inside and it's just sitting there smoking away. So it's a case that you do get what you pay for with the Traeger Timberline 850. I'm super impressed by this smoker. It's really encouraged me to do a lot more experimentation with my food, and there's such a big community out there, people providing recipes and so forth. I'm actually really excited about the types of things that I'm going to be able to create into the future, which is not what I was thinking before I got that thing. I didn't really consider myself to be much more of a person that can cook a couple of snags, hopefully not black it in it. But in about 20 minutes from now, we're going to be diving into one hell of a good turkey. The stuff I've cooked on this so far has been absolutely delicious. So if you've got the money and you've got the budget and the willingness to experiment, this is the best smoker we can use. It's really, really good. I hope you enjoyed finding a review of the Traeger Timberline 850 smoker, wood-fire grill as they like to call it. And like I said, I'm really impressed. If you want to read the full review where I go into a lot much more detail about all my pros and cons around the device, jump onto the fighter.com.au website and dive right in and enjoy it. Other than that, good cooking.